Sage is fighting the fight. He has fought cities. He has fought counties, politicians, naysayers. Hell, he's even fought mayors.
Thank you for listening to Sage and the Houseless Movement, a weekly show dedicated to the news and views of the homeless locally and worldwide.
And all other things considered homeless?
Yes. Broadcasting live from your Alexa device, the Radio Free Network app, iOS, WMBU.org, Many Voices United, and the RadioFreeNetwork.com. And now, from some wooded area in Akron, Ohio, here is Sage the Rage Lewis.
Yo, what is up, party people? Man, we're wrapping up 2021. I mean, we still got 2 quality months left, right? We're November. I don't like thinking about it, bro. I don't like thinking about it because I don't know, man. I just got used to Tiger King 2 years ago, you know? I'm still thinking about Tiger King, and now 2021. I don't know. 2021 in many ways had its own special kind of fatigue, didn't it? Can I talk about it in the past? No, I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the rest of it? I mean, we still got 60 days or so. But I don't know, like, you know, 2020 was these protests and the heart of COVID. 2021 was just murdering people. And I mean, literally murdering people, like in our cities. How many murders have been in Chicago? How many murders have we had in Chicago in 2021? More than any year since 1996. Thursday night. Okay, so when was this? This was recorded September 1st. 524 murders, 3% more than 2020. I guess that's not a lot more. 3% more is what? 6 more? I don't know, 10 more? 1996, that's going to be a hard one to beat. 796. Fueled by crack cocaine is the title. They said, where? WEBZ Chicago. Young men feel in fear of their lives, says Lance Williams, a Northeastern Illinois University professor. They're getting guns to try to protect themselves. That's an interesting statement because there's a guy who makes my subs at Subway, a young African-American young man, and he, best sub ever. Like, this guy, like, he cares about his job. I'm telling you, and in fact, this is the fact. I go to Subway, I pick up the sub, I bring it back, I give the subs out to my family, and they know who made them. They're like, that guy made them, didn't they? I'm like, yeah, he made them. He's that good. I was talking to him, and he's like, man, I get nervous walking home after work. I'm like, he's like, I got to get a pistol. I got to get a pistol. That's his answer. A young black man, Akron, Ohio, west side of Akron, the good side. The good side. Actually, a lot of murders happen over here on the west side, the good side. That's just, yeah. That's just code for the white side. That's all white people mean when they talk about the good side and the black side. They mean the white rich side and the poor black side. That's the bad side is the poor black side. The rich side is the white rich side. And that's his answer. And I was talking to a friend of mine who lives near New York City. And I was like, hey, have you been to New York recently? And she's like, no. I mean, I just don't feel really safe about it. And I'm like, oh. She's like, yeah, like, It used to be that people were just killing people in the, she didn't use these words, but the hood or, the lower income areas. And now people are killing everybody everywhere. And interestingly, she said she felt that the protests were contributing to this, that they were, they got people, I don't know, worked up or something. I know one thing. Something's going on. I know that. I know that's right. Something is going on. And you can tell because people are getting killed. But there's a lot of other things going on that are not easily measured metrics. Like, there's just more stress. I feel like even in my white friends, I feel like they're more stressed. Everybody's more stressed. Everybody. Now, and it shakes out in weird ways, like drug use and murders. And my kid had another lockdown at his school. A couple of young people brought in some guns to his school, posted it on Instagram. There's a lot going on in America right now. A lot. And so, if you focus on one group of people or another, like homeless people or low-income black people, then you'll say, well, it's because there's no jobs, or it's because America is pushing them out. But what do you do when you see upper middle class white people drinking more? I mean, I don't have a study about it. Let me see if I can find a study. Is alcohol use increasing in 2021? Let's see here. Here's JAMA. Heard of them? I don't know what they are. This was created in September 29. This was old. September of 2020. It says, but we can see what they say. As stay-at-home orders began in some U.S. states as a mitigation strategy, Nielsen reported a 54% increase in national sales of alcohol the week ending March 21st, 2020, compared to the year before. Online sales increased 262%. Let's see. Can we get anything this year? Can we get anything? Okay. Here's July. No. This is July 29th of 2021. COVID-19's continuing toll, increasing alcohol use and liver disease disproportionately affect women. Substantial increases in mental health concerns and substance abuse have widely noted since the start of COVID. Public survey results have demonstrated elevated rates of depression and anxiety after the crisis began, and other research have revealed drastic increases in the case of drug overdose and related deaths. There was a 54% surge in national alcohol sales during the first week of pandemic. See, they're publishing that JAMA thing. That's all we know. I don't know. Look, my grocery store now serves hard alcohol, hard liquor. You go in there, Acme, West Akron, Acme 1. You go in there 5 o'clock on a Friday night, and it's like Party Central. It's everybody's walking out of there with hard liquor, man. Big jugs of Jack, vodka, scotch, gin. They're not just taking out the hard cider and the beer. They're rolling with the heavy duty shit, man. They're doing it. They're going hard. So what is it? What is it in America that is causing this stress? Because I feel it. Don't you feel it? I feel it. And what do I have to be stressed about? My life is perfect. Don't have any money problems. Family is great. Everything is great. But I feel it. It's in the air. The stress is in the air. Hold on one second. I gotta close this door. All right. There is something going on. I feel it. It could be just change, right? It could be that things are changing, and humans are notoriously uncomfortable with change. Even if we like the benefits of it, we still notice the change. Robin Everly from Freeport, Illinois, got the book, got the homeless activist book. I got that picture. I love that picture, Robin. It's good to see you, buddy. I think it's nationwide. Could be worldwide. I don't know what goes on in other countries. And so then you just start putting out platitudes like, take care of yourself, get some sleep, exercise. But that doesn't alleviate the overarching angst we're all feeling. It doesn't. We still wake up and still feel the way we feel. So maybe we just have to ride it out. I will tell you this. The guy who loved to drink, drinking does not help. Please send me a link to the American Homeless Story. Okay, I will. You want like the old book? I will send you the link. I will send you the link. Dave Chappelle is being canceled. Did you watch his Netflix special, The Closer? Did you watch it? Oh, the hard copy. Okay, yeah, for sure. Thank you, Robin. He is being accused. Let's not. Dave Chappelle being canceled. All right. Hollywood Reporter. Let's take a look at this. After being called out for transphobic jokes in The Closer, the comedian performed at the Hollywood Bowl in front of Brad Pitt, Tiffany Haddish, and Stevie Wonder and dismissed the outcry. Fuck Twitter. This is real life. Says amid a swirl of controversies around his Netflix special, The Closer, Dave Chappelle took center stage Thursday night at a star-studded, sold-out, blah, blah, blah. though the superstar comedian did not repeat any of the jokes that have been loudly rejected by members of the LGBTQ community, GLAAD and the National Black Justice Coalition, he thumbed his nose at the notion of cancel culture while promoting messages of kindness and love. So Chappelle shared the marquee with a screening of his Untitled, Dave Chappelle's documentary, a 118-minute film directed by American Factory Oscar, blah, blah, blah. Looks inside years summer camp series. Okay. So here's the deal. Did you watch The Closer? Did you watch it? You can't really comment on it unless you've watched it. I feel like that's fair, right? If I was summing it up, I would say, you did, oh, hey, Tara, oh, I would love to know what your feeling about this is. So I would say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say Dave Chappelle feels that the transgender community is not as real as the African American problems in America. Okay? That's like, I'm trying to get at what they would say, right? I'm trying to get, yeah, you saw it too, Robin? Okay, I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you think it was over the top? Do you think that it was was he being too hard on the transgender community? I can't off the top of my head tell you any of the specific jokes because I can't remember them, but I would say that that is the general gist, that he's like, look, man, I get it. I get that you have problems, but I got real problems. The African American community has real problems. There's real problems in America. Homelessness, he didn't say this, but I would say, I could add to it. How about the fact that people in America don't have a toilet? Okay? My cat is driving me nuts. I have to let him in again. Hold on. It was way too much, but funny. So, was it okay? I wouldn't say it was his best special. I'm a huge Dave Chappelle fan, by the way. I think he's the greatest comedian in the history of comedy. I think. Love him so much, so much. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was his best work. I do feel like he kind of leaned into that topic because he knew it was on his mind. I think he knew that it was controversial, and I think he knew that it would increase sales. I'm speculating. That's what I think. He spent a lot of time on the transgender thing. I would say more so than the average person in America. I don't think the average person in America thinks much about the transgender community at all, honestly. It's a very small subset of people, unless you have a transgender friend or a transgender family member. You probably are like, whatever. Look, I've been to clubs with transgender people. It's fun. They're fun. They're fun places. They're fun people. I'm obviously stereotyping. Not all transgender people are fun, I'm sure. But the transgender people I have met, very fun, very outgoing. I enjoy it very much. I enjoy being around the transgender community. They're cool, hip, fun people. I went to see a show in New York called, what was it, Hedwig and the Angry Inch. It's about a transgender guy, and then we went out to a transgender bar afterwards. We had a lovely time. Lovely time. So I feel like the amount of time Dave Chappelle spent on the transgender thing, I mean, yeah, he's thinking about it a lot because in his world, the transgender community's coming after him all the time. And so I would suppose he's thinking about it more. So here, I just was scanning this article. It says, okay, where'd it go? Okay. Okay, so here's some things that he said. He said he also sided with Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling by identifying as Team TERF, a term that means trans exclusionary radical feminist, an ideology that excludes trans women as women. The special, currently number 4 on Netflix, also features jabs at white gays, the Me Too movement, lesbians, among others. I don't hate gay people. I respect the shit out of you. Not all of you. I'm not that fond of those newer gays. Too sensitive, too brittle. See, that's funny, right? Can we admit that this man is a comedian first? Okay? I'm not saying he's not telling the truth, maybe as he sees it, but he's going to find the parts that are of humor. I miss the old school gays, the Stonewall gays. They didn't take shit from anybody. In a few days, yeah, isn't that funny? I mean, that's funny. That is funny. I'm sorry, it's funny first. Okay? You are not listening to the President of the United States. You're not listening to a team consultant on workplace, what's appropriate in the workplace. You are listening to Dave Chappelle. Okay? You're listening to Dave Chappelle. Chappelle has received condemnation from the NBJC, which called for the special to be pulled from the streamer, with 2021 on track to be the deadliest year on record for transgender people in the United States, majority of whom are black transgender people. Netflix should know better, says NBJC Executive Director David Johns. Perpetuating transphobia perpetuates violence. Netflix should immediately pull the closer from its platform and directly apologize to the transgender community. Glad weighed in on Twitter. Dave Chappelle's brand has become synonymous with ridiculing trans people and other marginalized communities. Negative reviews and viewers loudly condemning the special. Okay, now here's the thing about it. Who didn't he slam on that show? Everybody got it from Dave in that show. White people got it. Women got it. Everybody got it. Okay? Every guy got an earful from Dave Chappelle. All right? But the transgender community is getting picked up in the media. Okay? I'm sure the Me Too people had something to say. White people don't have their spokespeople are the KKK, so we don't usually run their stuff. That's inconvenient. I'm sure the KKK had something to say about it. But we're focusing on the transgender community. Why? Because the media wants to focus on the transgender community. Not us. Well, they'll sell whatever, they'll push whatever sells, obviously, but they can sell this. They can sell the controversy of the transgender thing. But why aren't we talking about what he said about women? Why is it just the transgender stuff? Are we going to roll that out next week? We're going to be outraged about what he said about women and white people next week? No. I'm sorry, but this is manufactured. Jokes about homeless people, no one gets mad. Of course no one gets mad. It doesn't play. Nobody cares. Okay? So this is the problem with cancel culture. Who gets canceled and who doesn't? And it goes right back to McCarthyism in the Red Scares of the 50s. Everybody was worried about communists. You can be a communist now. I got communist friends. I have people that are talking about being communists on Facebook. Nobody cares anymore. Why? A communist today is the same as a communist in the 1950s. The only difference is our concern, our manufactured concern about communism. We don't care about communism anymore. Our best trading partner, China. Is China communist? Is China communist? Yeah. The Chinese Communist Party. Every one of our iPhones made by communists. Every one. I think. I don't know where iPhones are made. Where are iPhones made? Where are iPhones made?
China. Here's a
There.
summary from the
China.
Ohio State University.
The communist
China
center
are the
of
main
world.
countries that
Okay,
bear those
I don't
characteristics
need you
and
talking to me,
participate in
lady.
the manufacture of
Okay. So now we love Chinese. We love communists because they give us cheap iPhones. Okay? We must stop this cancel culture phenomenon. And it's being driven mostly by outraged liberals, white liberals, no less. I'm outraged. I'm outraged. You know why? Because outraged liberals, white liberals have money. They have money. They're buying $1 million houses on the coasts of America. They'll buy shit. They buy all the stuff from Target. They buy all the newest iPhones. And I don't know, they like the ideology. They like it. Let's watch a little of this right here.
It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees at Netflix, and I refuse. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we are speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore.
There it is. And this is going to be the conundrum, okay? DEI is going to go to head with DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is going to battle diversity, equity, and inclusion. So, Dave Chappelle, I don't know if you know, black man, is now being pushed out of society because of what he said. Hey, Gary Mikes. And so I don't know if you recall, but I remember this catchy slogan, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. And I give you Exhibit A. That is a black life. See that guy? That is a black life. What you're saying is some Black Lives Matter. So now we need to get an update on which Black Lives Matter. Because Dave Chappelle's life currently does not matter, because it turns out Dave Chappelle is a human being. And I don't know if you know this about human beings, but we have crazy ass ideas. All of us have insane ideas. Every one of us. Every one of us. And they are going to go head to head. You are going to run into conflict when a group of people you are trying to support disagrees with your support of other people you're trying to support. Who's this young, let's see, young conservative black woman? Candace Owens. Do you know Candace Owens? Do you know her? Candace Owens. Candace Amber Owens, farmer, born 1989, is an American conservative author, talk show host, political commentator, and activist. Initially critical of the United States President Donald Trump and the Republican Party, Owens eventually became known for her pro-Trump activism as a black woman. In addition to her Black Lives Matter, in addition to her criticism of Black Lives Matter and the Democratic Party, she worked for the conservative advocacy group Turning Point between 2017 and 2019 as its communication director. In 21, she joined the Daily Wire and hosts Candace, a political podcast. Let's just grab a little snippet of Candace Owens, shall we? Let's just take a Candace Owens. Let's see here. Let's see. 3 weeks ago. I don't know.
I do want to also say, just like out of respect to the military men that have PTSD, they actually served in the war. You were not actually a slave. I find that to be a bit offensive.
Wait.
The last thing I want to say.
No.
The last thing I want to say.
You absolutely,
It's ridiculous to say that you have
will not say that.
Means a trauma that you suffered, that you experienced.
I will not allow that to ride.
You weren't a slave. You don't have PTSD from slavery.
And racist system.
Welcome back. I'm very excited about this panel today. It's going to be.
It's like that all the time. It's like that all the time. Oh, it's Junior. Oh, hi, Junior. Does Candace's Black Life matter? Because then are we just talking about the idea that her body matters, not her ideas? So what do we mean when we talk about Black Lives Matter? Okay? What do we mean when we say that? Because I'm quite sure there are these woke liberals not in love with Candace Owens. A black life. There's some woke liberals right now not in love with Dave Chappelle. A black life. So now, let's talk about fascism, okay? A lot of woke liberals love to throw that word around, okay? What is the definition of, what is the definition of fascism? Fascism is a far-right authoritarian ultra-nationalist characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, strong regiment, which came in prominence in the early 20th century. What does it mean? There it is. Best definition. Set of ideologies and practices seeks to place the nation, defined in exclusive biological, cultural, historical terms above other sources of loyalty and create a mobilized national community. Now, we oftentimes call Republicans and Donald Trump fascist because it's a set of ideologies and practices that seek to place the nation, defined in exclusive biological, cultural, and historic terms, above all other sources of loyalty. Okay? You see where I'm going? Now, if we apply fascism to Trump, it's not that the nation is first in Trump. It's a certain group in the nation. white conservatives primarily, but not really. We have Candace Owens, conservatives. Because the conservatives will tell you that the liberals are destroying America. So they clearly are not part of the nation. Okay? I don't think we need to talk about it from a racial point of view. We can just talk about it from a conservative versus liberal point of view. And the Donald Trump fascism is not all of America. It's making America great by getting rid of liberals. Okay? Now, let's take liberals. Remember this. Listen to this. Fascism is a set of ideologies and practices that seek to place the nation to find exclusive biological, cultural, or historical terms above all other sources of loyalty and create a mobilized national community. How is it that the liberals are not doing the exact same thing? They want to make America great again. They can't use that statement. Or maybe they want to make America great for the first time ever by getting rid of people they don't like. Do you see how they're the same thing? Now, if you're part of the cult on either side, you're obviously going to have a hard time seeing what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying is that democracy will be always put on a back burner in America today for either side if the ideology is what you support. Okay? You're happy to cancel Candace Owens. You're happy to cancel Dave Chappelle, which, and I know you'll say, well, it's a private thing. You can do whatever you want. You want it. You want them canceled. See, Gary Mikes says, we're going to be a third world country because of Joe Biden. See, he's buying into the fascist ideology of culture over everything else. Okay? Liberals still believe that about Donald Trump. Exactly what you're saying, Gary Mikes, is what liberals believe about Donald Trump to this day. Donald Trump is still the lead at CNN, even though he has no power. Gary's like, it's the truth, though. Do you see how it becomes very difficult to have this conversation at all? Because if I tell you Republicans are fascists, my Democrat friends are going to believe me. If I tell you the Democrats are fascist, my liberal friends will probably say, I didn't think of it that way, but yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they're fascist. They're the fascists. And the answer is they're both fascist in the sense that culture trumps everything else. You're fine to cancel Dave Chappelle, who's a black man, because now you think he is hurting the LGBTQIA community. He's trying to put out a documentary about George Floyd. It was picked up by all these big studios, and now they dropped it. A documentary about George Floyd. Okay? Who is George Floyd?
According to Wikipedia, George Perry Floyd Jr. was an African-American man who was murdered by a police officer in Minneapolis, Minnesota, during an arrest after a store clerk suspected.
George Floyd can be attributed to the waking up of America, almost like a liberal spring, if you will, an awareness. George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd started, I mean, there were a lot of things going on at that time, but George Floyd can be attributed to that. Dave Chappelle's documentary on George Floyd is now being canceled. Why? Because now Dave Chappelle is not towing the party line. He's not saying the right words. Interestingly, doesn't seem to matter that he disses women right now. Just transgender. The transgender community is outraged. Not the women, not white people certainly. We're canceling a George Floyd documentary because we don't like the guy now who put it out, a black man. This is the true threat of America. Okay? We on the left are loving cancel culture. We love it. We love that movie studios and the big networks are canceling people that we disagree with. We love it. Because it's our ideology. Our ideology is not free speech. Our ideology is some random political correct thinking of the moment. Because, as somebody in the comments mentioned, you can make fun of homeless people all day long and not get canceled. You can make fun of Christians all day long and not get canceled. You can always make fun of white people and not get canceled. I love that. I love making fun of white people. It's cool because I'm a white guy and I can make fun of white people. It's fun. I like making fun of white people. And you'll say, well, that's just because you have all the power. Could be. I knew a Polish guy who loved telling Polish jokes. Loved them. He laughed at his Polish jokes harder than anybody else in the room. This was like in the late 70s when it was totally cool to make fun of other races. We, the liberals of America, are pushing America into a bad place. Not the conservatives. Not the conservatives. Because what we are doing is we are burying thought. We're now the thought police. And what you have to understand is Donald Trump did not invent anything. Donald Trump did not invent racism. Donald Trump did not invent conservatism. Donald Trump just tapped into it. It was always there. It was always there. Donald Trump maybe gave people the power and bravery to stand up for their beliefs. Does the ACLU support the KKK? All right. So here's a New York Times article. Once a bastion of free speech, the ACLU faces an identity crisis. An organization that defended the First Amendment rights of Nazis and the KKK is split by an internal debate over whether supporting progressive causes is more important. This right here says it all. This was June 6, 2021. So the ACLU, who Gary Mikes will not stop. Trump, why is he better than Biden? Tell me why you like Donald Trump better than Biden. I want to know, Junior. Trump was trying to fix it. What was he trying to fix? What's broken? I need to know. Robin says put Trump in jail. Okay, see, we have two exciting controversies going on right now. So here's the problem with the ACLU. I would imagine most of the money comes from progressives. Okay? The ACLU gets most of their money from progressives. KKKs and Nazis aren't really rich, kind of poor people. It's not cool right now to support a blanket statement of free speech. It's only cool to support certain kinds of speech. And so the ACLU is, he says, look at what Biden is doing. What is Biden doing, Gary? Don't say just look at what Biden's doing. What is he doing? He's probably sleeping right now. He's sleepy. He's an old man. What's he doing? We are becoming a place, and maybe, and it's always been here. It's always been here. But it seems like we're now a place where you cannot speak out as a Nazi or a KKK. Trump never asked for money, but he put it back and never wanted any money. I get emails from Donald Trump all the time asking for money. He's always begging me for money. Every day. Every day Donald Trump wants money from me. We cannot be. This is going to make it worse. Okay? So what we have now is we have, let's call it like a little piece of mercury. You know how mercury just kind of flows around in a little blob? It's out of the bottle. There's a blob of mercury out of the bottle right now. And if we're like, hey, man, we got to get rid of that mercury, that stuff's dangerous. The bottle is gone. The bottle, all there is a table. Yeah, Trump does ask for money. Every day he asks for money. Every day. I'll show you the email. He's probably got one in there right now. You can't just put your hand on top of mercury and think that it's going to disappear. It's just going to splatter, okay? It's just going to go in different places on the table. Do you see? And as it splinters, it becomes more difficult to handle. People get buried more. They go underground more, and likely they become more militant because what did Martin Luther King Jr. say about a riot? A riot is the language of the unheard. Now I'm reading fake news, says Gary Mikes. It's in my email inbox, Gary Mikes. It's not fake news. It's Donald Trump in my inbox begging me for money, for Petey's sake. A riot is the language of the unheard. What I'm saying is, if you bury this now and you don't allow people to talk about it, you're going to make it worse. You're going to make people angrier and more militant. You see? Because people are pissed. And everybody's pissed. Everybody. Are you kidding me, Gary Mikes? Unbelievable. Gary's like, Trump doesn't email. Unbelievable. Hold on. Trump. Here. I can't believe I have to prove that I get emails from Donald Trump. Here. Donald Trump's brand new social media platform. Breaking news. President Trump confirms launch of brand new social media platform. I'm actually very excited about this. Can you believe it? Donald Trump is taking on big tech censorship, fighting for free speech. Now we need to help send Silicon Valley, the radical left, and the liberal news media a clear message of exactly where the American people stand. Will you join President Trump's new social media site? Yes, I will. Please respond in the next 2 hours to ensure the answer. Okay? Respond now. Wait, okay, this is the Republican. Okay, technically it's the Republican National Committee. This one isn't money. Hold on. I get you money. What is this one? Here it is. Donor profile. Look, I have donated zero money. Zero money. You click on this contribute button. You want me to donate? Prove to you? Okay. President Trump is calling on you. Right now, this is powered by WinRed. I don't know. It's paid for by the Republican National Committee. Okay, so technically it isn't Donald Trump, I guess. But I'm telling you, Donald Trump's asking me for money all the time, or at least the name of Donald Trump is. I tell you. So there you go. So, and you see, here we go. Now, what Gary is saying is anybody can make a fake email, says Gary Mikes. ABC is fake too. So here it happens. This is what Gary is saying is not an uncommon statement. Anything you don't like in America, the conservatives call it fake, and the liberals cancel it. Okay? They're the same. They're doing the same thing. What I've learned about humanity is that we are all basically pieces of shit. Okay? We're all small-minded, myopic, self-centered pieces of shit. Okay? We fall victim or we get trapped in our own ideologies because we want to believe our ideologies. We have a very difficult time accepting truth and reality that contradicts our realities, our beliefs. And we're both doing it. Both sides are doing it. I do it. You do it. We all do it. Okay? I'm trying to get out of this. I'm trying to get out of the idea that what the conservatives are saying is it's fake news, fake news. Everything's fake news to the conservatives. And then the liberals, cancel, 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 cancel. Same freaking thing. Same thing. We have to wake up to this truth. Because we're just all being played. Because if we're going to cancel people, we should cancel everybody. Everybody needs canceled. Everybody. So what you need to do is you're going to have to send out a survey of everybody, and they're going to have to answer all the questions honestly. And if they get one wrong, they need to be canceled. Because that's what happened to Dave Chappelle. He filled out a survey. He believes he's not into the trans community or whatever. I would say he's not anti-trans, certainly. He just he's not into the cause. He got question number 23 wrong on the exam. Cancel. Cancel everything. Cancel all of Dave Chappelle. Everything he has to say about Black Lives Matter, everything his new documentary about George Floyd, cancel. He got question number 23 wrong out of a 1,000 question survey. And the funny thing is, the questions get removed or added all the time. Remember, I said back in the 50s, it used to be, are you a communist? You get canceled if you're a communist in the 50s. Today, it's fine to be a communist. What's different? Communists are more powerful than ever. We're sending all our money to the communists to buy all our shit, everything. Go in Walmart and try and find something that wasn't made by a communist. I dare you. It isn't food. Probably most of the food. Gary says he's getting tired of Black Lives Matter. It should be ALM, All Lives Matter. Okay. Now, what I love is that's fine. That is fine to say, okay? Now, if Dave Chappelle had said that, or, I mean, anybody mainstream, any white comedian, if any white comedian said that, okay, let's take Jerry Seinfeld. Let's take Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld comes out and says, I'm tired of Black Lives Matter. I want All Lives Matter. Cancel. Cancel. The only reason Gary Mikes isn't getting canceled is because he's not a national person. But I will tell you what, he's going to get unfriended. If he posts that on Facebook, he's going to get unfriended. I can't be friends with somebody that says, I don't want BLM, I want ALM. Cancel. So you get canceled on a microcosm too. How many people get canceled because all of a sudden their friends disagree with them on some political statement? This is the problem. This is the United States of America. It's basically the country of a bunch of fucked up individualist assholes. That's what America is. First of all, we were like, fuck you, Europe, England, and we moved over here. We're like, yeah, fucking America, man. We're going to fucking talk about our religion our way. And then people are like, man, fuck the East Coast. We're going to the West Coast, man. We're going to learn how to swim, surf, man. We're just those people. We have more guns than people in this country, I think. We're those people. When are we going to wake up to who we are as a country and how it is in you? Your woke, stupid ass liberal ideology is just as stupid as any other ideology because it's not based in any kind of logic that makes sense in culture and humanity. Of course you can say, look, Dave Chappelle, I think this is a bad stance. I think that Bruce Jenner should now be whatever her name is, Jenner, and she should have the right to do that, which, of course, Dave Chappelle would say, of course, she's actually a friend of mine. What's her name again? Bruce Jenner is now Rochelle Jenner, Dorleen Jenner. I can't remember her name. Anyways, I think they're friends. He isn't against them. He just, I think, thinks it's a silly cause. In all the list of causes, he thinks it's a silly one. Now, so we don't have freedom of speech anymore? That's right, Gary Mikes. Of course we don't have freedom of speech anymore. The liberals are trying to end it. Because they don't like what you say. The problem is, someday they're going to come for them. Because then the people in charge, so let's say the liberals win. Let's say everybody that doesn't swear allegiance to the current liberal ideology gets canceled immediately. Immediately canceled. Oh, you said the wrong words, cancel. On a microcon, you get thrown off of YouTube, you get thrown off of Facebook, you get thrown off of Netflix specials, everything. You get everything the liberals want. The liberals get to make the list, and that's the final list, and they get everything they want. Okay? There's just one problem, libtards. Someday, you're not going to be in power. And they're going to take the same rules that you made about squelching free speech and apply it to you. You will have set them up. You'll have given them what they wanted. Do you understand? You are the danger. You and let's get rid of the guns. You and let's get rid of free speech. The real danger in America are the liberals. And I say that as a leftist. I don't believe in most conservative ideas. Like, I do some. But as a general, I would not consider myself a conservative. A conservative is a person, I heard this guy say this. A conservative is a person that is walking in a field and sees a wall in the middle of the field. Okay? Just comes up to the wall and looks at this wall in the middle of the field. And the conservative says, wow, I wonder what this wall does. I wonder where it goes. I wonder what it's for. I wonder what it could be used for. Maybe we better take care of this wall. A liberal comes up and is like, man, this wall's in my way. We got to bust through this so we're all trying to go this way. We need to end this wall. I tend to be more on the let's crush the wall, screw the wall, fuck the wall. The very least, let's build a bridge over the wall. How about we break down a section of the wall right now and we monitor the wall, see if we really needed the wall. But right now, we're all trying to go this way, and that wall can fucking suck a big fat dick. So that's why I consider myself, consider myself a liberal, because I'm all for, when in doubt, tear it down and rebuild it. I'm not an anarchist, but that's my deal. All right, everybody, I'm running late. I gotta go. I love you all very much. Don't be afraid of words. Gary Mikes is wrong. Right. Gary Mikes is 100% right. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Bam. Drop the mic, Gary Mikes. That's what's up. Good job, buddy.
Thank you for listening to Sage and the Houseless Movement, a weekly show dedicated to the news and views of the homeless locally and worldwide.